Welcome to the Revshare 101 course, and in this lesson 1 we're going to go over some top Revshare questions that newbies usually ask. Those questions are: what is a revenue share? What a Revshare is not? How does a Revshare make money? How do I make money in a Revshare? What do I have to do to make money in a Revshare? Do I have to sign people up? And are Revshares pyramids or Ponzi schemes? We're going to answer all these questions in this lesson. So let's start with what is a revenue share? A revenue share is basically a traffic exchange where we all look at each other's ads. We have all these banners that we have to look at, and every day we have to show up and look at these banners. So it's a traffic exchange. You look at my ads, I look at your ads, or you look at somebody else's ads. And when you buy these ad packs, you actually buy advertising credits. So this is what they sell. They sell ad credits, and this is what you buy. Remember, this is very important. You buy advertising credits. This is the product that you get from a Revshare. Now, with these ad credits, you can advertise your business if you have a website or, anything really online, even offline. It could be an ad for your restaurant, right? And you can advertise other offers. It can be, affiliate offers or anything really. And now, obviously, you don't have to use those credits. A lot of people don't. I think way over 90% of people don't use those credits. They're interested only in the profit part of revenue shares. And last but not least, a revenue share is risky. All revenue shares are risky. There is an inherent risk, so do be careful. Now, we'll talk about strategies and all that in a different video, but this is just basic. So what is a revenue share? All of this, which includes risky. Now, what a rev share is not. The biggest confusion comes from people calling it an investment. They talk about investing money. I want to invest money in the rev share. You can't say that. Remember not to use the word investment, and for several reasons. First, an investment is really when you buy an asset that's going to appreciate in time. It's going to grow in value. Like if you buy gold, you buy it as an investment because you assume that its value is going to go up. The price of gold is going to go up. With Revshare, it's not like that. Like I said, you buy advertising credits. Or you can buy an asset that's going to pay you over time, that's going to give you income. Again, Revshare is not that either, so it's not an investment. It's the other problem with investment is there's a legal issue with using that word, especially in the United States. And being that a lot of websites that we use, like YouTube and Facebook, these are all American websites, you want to avoid using the word investment for that reason as well. And it's not an MLM. It's not a multi-level marketing. I know some people think because you can sign people up and so on, but really in an MLM, you have your left leg and your right leg and people under you and so on. That's not the point of a Revshare. So it's not an MLM. And last but not least, it's not safe. Like we said, it's risky. It is not safe. We're going to talk about this in other courses, but for now, just remember that it's not safe. Now, how does a Revshare make money? Well, it sells you these advertising credits or ad packs. This is what you buy. So this is how a Revshare makes money. And another way is through memberships. Now, not all Revshares have this, but those that do, that's certainly one way for them to make money. $5, $10 a month, it depends. Fees, when you put money in or you take money out, there may be some fees. We're talking very small percentages. Maybe there's an extra % on top of what a processor charges them. But, fees for that, or maybe for internal transfers, they charge you money to move money, funds from one balance to another and so on. So again, fees can be a part of it. Now, a big part of it is other advertising. So not these ad packs that you buy, but additional advertising for sale on the website, because they sell banners and text ads and all kinds of ads. We'll talk about that shortly. And some RevShares, now most don't have external income sources. Some claim they do, but they don't. But basically they could have, a good RevShare may have other products that come with the RevShare that are kind of, maybe it's a separate site that's created just to support the RevShare and so on. They could be all kinds of marketing products, ebooks or whatever, or affiliate products, where members can be selling something and then, taking an affiliate commission on it, but the bulk of the money goes to the RevShare. That's a possibility. It's pretty rare. Now, how do you make money in a RevShare? Well, like we said, buying those ad packs and all these other just mentioned sources of income, they all create profits that are then divided between all the active members. And we'll talk about active members in a second, what active means. But basically, if you're in there, you have ad packs, you're active, you will get a part of these profits based on how many ad packs you have and so on. And again, so you profit by buying advertising credits. If you don't, you will not profit. So what do you have to do to make money, to profit? First of all, you have to buy these ad packs. Ideally, you want to buy them daily. You really want to buy them even many times a day, because you should get them as soon as you have money to buy them. You put money in, and then some of that money keeps coming back to you at certain intervals, like every 4 hours, every 6 hours, or once a day or whatever. And you buy ad packs whenever you have money to buy them. Now, it doesn't have to be daily, but ideally, you want to buy as often as possible. If an ad pack is $1, then every time there's $1, you want to buy an ad pack. This is how you get things moving faster. So that's one of the things you have to do. Another thing, if the website charges membership, you have to pay that membership. Otherwise, you will not be an active member. We just mentioned being an active member means paid membership, among other things. And in order to keep your ad packs earning, you have to surf banners. Every day you have to go in and click on however many banners the RevShare requires you to click on. Without doing this, your ad packs will not be active. They will not be earning money. So that's something you have to do every day. Now, do you have to sign people up? Well, you don't. You're not required to. It's not something that you have to do. Now, if you do, you're not only going to make more money, because clearly you'll be getting money from people, but you'll make money faster. So you'll make more money faster, because it's like depositing additional money. You will have more money to buy ad packs. So if you can get referrals, this is great. This will help you, but it's certainly not required. And the big question is, are RevShares pyramids or Ponzi schemes? Now, people want to know this. So, a pyramid, let's look at what it is first. A pyramid is a scheme that is based on recruiting new members. That's what a pyramid is. It's just about getting new members in. So it promises you earnings just for getting other people signed up, for enrolling others into the pyramid scheme. So you sign up people and you get money from them. Now, in a RevShare, clearly you can get referrals, but you don't get paid because you signed somebody up, and you don't have to. If you're in a pyramid and not signing people up, you're not being a part of it. So, and the most important difference is that a pyramid offers no product or service. Usually in a pyramid, you just pay either a one-time fee the first time you get in, or you pay a membership. If everybody pays membership, then you're continuously getting paid from those funds that are membership. But there is no actual product being sold. There's no service. There's no value whatsoever. Now, A Ponzi scheme, it promises low risk, high rates of return. A typical Ponzi is a hype or a high yield investment program. Maybe you've heard of these. You'll basically get a plan that if you put whatever $500 in a month, you will have $2,500. You'll get 500% based on your deposit. That's just ridiculous. Clearly that money can only come from new signups. So that's how it generates its profit for the ones who signed up before. So new people pay for the old people. And you sign up, and then you take money from the next guy, he takes money from the next guy, and so on and so on. So it's just a circle until it dries up. And that's what a typical Ponzi scheme is. And like pyramids, a Ponzi has no product or service whatsoever. It's usually just, you just put your money in and then you promise to return. Now, in a pyramid, you benefit directly from your signups. So depending on how many people you have under you, if it's organized like that, or just from, having people being in the system, it depends. But you benefit directly from the people under you. Now, in a Ponzi, one person is in charge of distributing these funds. You don't get just money directly from the people under you. The person in charge kind of decides when and if you're going to get paid. And both of these require new signups. So benefiting directly from your signups, one person in charge of distributing funds, and requiring new signups. Now, a Revshare has all of these three that we just mentioned. These are all similar to Revshares, similar between Revshares, pyramids, and Ponzi's, right? New people benefiting from people you signed up, and one person being in charge. And while we're talking about pyramids and Ponzi's, this is a Ponzi that's organized like a pyramid. Maybe you've heard of these. It's called Job, or Just Over Broke. You've probably gone through it. I have, and I'm trying not to go back there. So, anyways, so like any business, a Revshare requires new customers. This is important. So, this is like any business. So, this is how it's not that different from a job or a business, right? And a Revshare does have a product. This is the biggest distinction between a Revshare and the pyramid and the Ponzi, is that you buy advertising. And this is why you can't talk about investments, because that's not what they are. All you're getting is advertising credits that you can use or you don't have to use, but you do have a product. So these are things that are similar. So let's see what we learned. Let's do a quick recap. This is your brain with all the little knobs and wheels and everything, and let's see if this is all in place for you. So we'll just remind you at the end of every lesson. In this one, we had what is a revenue share, what a revenue share is not, how does a Revshare make money, how do I make money in a Revshare, what do I have to do to make money, do I have to sign people up, and are Revshares pyramids or Ponzi schemes? And this is the end of lesson 1.